stand a chance to win a trip for two to Spain to watch Real Madrid live in action with @Nivea Man SA. Buy any Nivea Man deep product and enter *120 *607 hash to stand a chance. You can explore the sights of Madrid. You will have a training session at the Real Madrid training ground and a tour to the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Terms and conditions apply. The competition starts from the 1st of March to the 30th of April 2023. It is TV powered by World Sports Betting. It is good times. The CEO of Mamelodi Sundowns winning away from home in Algeria against Belouizdad. A very convincing win, really. I kept on saying to the guys as well, look, these guys are beaten a shame. Like, there's a point where, you know, when you're a young boy challenging other young boys to a fist fight, yes, let's do this. Like sometimes, back shy, clean.
Straight.
And the next time you see that boy, you're like, damn, this nigga beat me. Like, it's like, there's nothing. It's not like his brother was helping him, his cousin was, he beat me. Yeah, well. This was a loose show. So, what did you make of the game, sir?
Mr. Keo, look, what a good game.
Yes.
You know, the tempo, tactics, looking at both teams. Rulani make some changes, very smart changes. Because I thought he's gonna take out Mshishi and put Mayema in that number 10 role and have Mbule, Mkulisi, Nomkwena, of which he still having that midfield, but wa change la papambi look to Mshishi out, kuphume Mrena, kuphume no Mayema. So manje it makes again life difficult for the team because when you've got fresh legs. And you have Sundowns players, Abu Bakar Lapana, no Romaro Lapana. Those players are very good. They just need now somebody that also like to Zogabo to give them that good service. Of which, look, game plan. Sometimes I'm a game plan when you play away, they change. I mean, you special Sundowns will leading 3-1. What do you expect? I mean, you just have to manage the game, make sure we don't lose. Amapola in crucial areas, especially in our half. Squeeze at midfield, like I said, after I'm good. You need to squeeze at midfield. Allow them to use the width, and then let's see. And when they use the width, there's nothing. Yeah,
I mean, it's a surprise because I think up until the 80th minute, we were watching patiently, and I said, there's no moment where Sundowns were broken by Belouizdad.
No.
And when you break a team, it's like you break them down. You pass, you break through. A through pass for your striker, or you eliminate a fullback, and then you cut it back. Your striker is idling there, waiting for the ball. There was no moment here. And then on the opposite end, with Sundowns, every single time they were going there, they were breaking them. And I think that's when you know, Uguti, the team is thoroughly beaten you. When you were attacking them, you couldn't break their wall. But when they were attacking you, everything seemed to be an opportunity.
Look, Rulani got it right. I'll clap hands for him. You know, go away and put that intensity, tactical discipline, you know, positional discipline. It takes a lot. You know, the running of the players. Look at Mbule. We always know Mbule is a lazy player. But tonight he showed a different class of Mbule.
What he did well, so given his fitness, of course, which we always question. What he did well, and I said, and I asked for this. I said, if he's not going to expose himself, he's just going to have to receive the ball, pass the ball. Receive the ball, pass the ball. That means you're not taxing yourself in terms of fitness. Komara, he did actually more than that. He eliminated, he turned. Every decision he made was right. That was so beautiful to see from him.
Look, Mbule, we all know, he's a very good player. And he's one of the players that I think we never, I would say we never show respect in terms of the quality. And now it's Sundowns is showing it. You know, Mr. Gil, when you look at the game, the high tempo, if Mbule managed to play that high tempo, with the Mbule that we know, Mbule is slow, is always casual and but he showed a different class. That's a top player tonight. And, you know, if he can continue like this, you know, I see him going somewhere with football because you hardly see a midfielder like this that is very smart. He knows, I'm not fast or quicker than these other players, but with the thinking and the pass, I'm quick.
We saw a different side to Peter Shalulile. The finishes were beautiful. Sometimes I remember the game against Swallows, the 0-0.
Yeah.
You could see he's just trying, but really wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Today, everything he tried was he pulled it off. Whether it was an assist, it was 2 goals for him, and the goals were instinctive. Like Yashaya Ingen, and it happens so fast for the opposition. It's not like it's taking time.
Yeah.
It was like boom, goal. And then even the assist is like boom, and then you set it up to someone else, goal.
Yes.
We saw a different side to him today. Although it's a side we know he's always there. In the box is always deadly, but I think he's been searching for that Shalulile. In the past 4 matches, he's been searching. I think today he found it.
I think it's to be in the right place at the right time and get a good pass. Because sometimes you can be in the right place at the right time, but you don't get a good pass. Sometimes you get a good pass, but in the wrong position at the wrong time. Then it doesn't. I got that combination. So today it went for him. Right position at the right time. Look at the mistake.
It's also possible to search for yourself.
Yeah, yes, we have
Sometimes you can lose yourself. Sometimes you can be Mbesuma who scored 30 goals in the season. Mara, you struggle maybe to get to goal number 31.
Yeah.
You remember we were watching FA Cup here, Manchester City today, and Haaland got opportunities, but he couldn't find a goal. It was Mahrez who was scoring the goals. Sometimes as a player you can search for yourself in a match with the desperation, everything Uzamukora from 30 yards out, because you're just searching for this player that you've been in other matches. Today he pulled it off because, as you say correctly, they were finding him in the right position, but it didn't take time. He was getting it to score. Getting it, pass it to someone else, they score. I really like what I saw today.
Look, I always say, Shalulile, for me, you need a player like that in the team. He's not a wow player where you will expect him 1v1, he can do something. No. But he can contribute in terms of making sure that the team wins. Look at Ikolia header. Look at the assist. Umayema. Look at the mistake that the defense they did. Lapana move. He was there. One thing that I like about Tim Kakul is he's always inside the box. As a top striker, you must always be inside the box. If you are not inside the box, then I will always question. Like other strikers where you will see them making runs outside the box. When there's a cross, there's no one. But to Shalulile, you know, the way Sundowns they play, they always complement each other and they understand each other's weakness. And look at Mkwena, that midfield, that boy who worked hard tonight.
Yeah.
He could cover, you know, he can read the game. When the ball goes there, you see him covering on the right, is there. When the ball goes to the left, he's covering there. You know, he's protecting that defense. And that's wonderful of Mkwena.
Yeah, at some point in this game, so I was confident, and I said this to you guys. Maybe after 20 minutes, I thought that there's no way that this team is going to beat Sundowns in South Africa.
No.
Unfortunately. Like, if you can go to Algeria with that fan base and dominate them through playing. Because one of the things that I actually observed about them is that, if you remember Al Hilal, Florent Ibenge, the way that they set up against Sundowns was that to negate them, you don't have to engage them until they get to the center line.
Yes.
That's the same thing that Kevin Hunt did. That's the same thing that Steve Barker did as well. Those were the successful coaches who scouted Sundowns properly, and they said, to negate you, we will only engage you when you get to the center line. Maybe the first mistake that Belouizdad did was to think we are at home, so we need to engage you. We are not going to try to be tactical, and that was their biggest mistake as well. I don't think they're going to beat Sundowns. Like, as I wrap up this video with you, I don't think that these guys are going to beat Sundowns here in South Africa. They probably, because they're chasing this game, if they're chasing this game and they're playing like they're chasing this game, they could probably lose 4 or 5-0 here in South Africa.
Mr. One that is going to affect them, it's the weather.
3 p.m.?
Yeah, no, definitely that one.
In Pretoria?
For me, Ishaya, Abakona, like South Africa, weather is a Pretoria. So when you come from the ocean, it's West Montreal. So, and Mr. Keo, well done to Sundowns. These guys, I don't see them coming closer. And again, you know, one thing that I will say that shows Uguti, I don't think there will be any threat to Sundowns. They had only one chance. Actually, let me say, okay, that was a goal, that one, it was a corner kick. Second half, they had only that
from open play.
From open play, that chance, Leanne cross, I take Ilela or Orowen. That was the only chance. Other than that, then when you count, I'm a chance Sundowns. That's why I'm like, Yeah, I think Rulani will say to his boys, you did very well. But when the man is down, kick him.
All right.
Because they were there for the taking. They were supposed to score about another 2 for goal. I think the score was supposed to be 5.
Right.
But well done to Gabelo.
There you go. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. You got an opponent today that was playing at home, but it didn't look like you were playing away from home. So that was a very, very good performance from Mamelodi Sundowns. Very convincing as well. I was looking at the other results at the same time. Not results, but score lines. I remember that Al Ahly was only leading by 1-0. I remember that Simba as well only won by 1-0. And I think yesterday there was a team that traveled to Algeria to play against JS Kabylie. If I'm not mistaken, it must have been Esperance de Tunis. They only won 1-0 as well. So this is actually the most convincing score line in the quarterfinals. If the match with Al Ahly ended only 1-0, so that was a very convincing scoreline to show how difficult and competitive the quarterfinal stages are at this juncture. Unless Raja Casablanca came back from Al Ahly. It is KTV Times, World Sports Betting.